It started to jump up there pretty good, and I started to look at different tractors, and I had no particular tractor in mind. I was looking at what was the best for what we needed and for cost. I also wanted something simple. I wanted mechanical fuel injection, as little computer as I could get. So that limited, pretty much blew Kubota out. John Deere was kind of in the same ballpark of price and everything. And, you know, Coyote was one that I thought of. I really didn't even look at TYM. I didn't think about it. And then I was watching one video, and it was Stony Ridge, and it was a video where he said he wasn't an ambassador anymore, but the tractors were good enough where he was going to keep them. For me, that was a reason that I was going to seriously look at the tractor, because if somebody's putting their own money into it and they're keeping it, that tells me that, you know, the guy stands behind it. So I started looking at TYM, and I was looking at the 494. Price was real good. The engine, from what I could find out, was real good. Lift capacity on the bucket or loader was good. There were a lot of pluses with it. So we thought, we'll take a closer look at it. So I went to Act Equipment and asked them if they had a 494, because I wanted open cab, because I'm up and down on the cab so much. Closed cab wouldn't suit my needs, even though I'm in Alabama, and it would have been lovely. It just wasn't for me. Went down there, they were showing me the tractors, and they had the 574 there, and I told him what I was looking for, and well, we got the 574, and we can give it to you pretty much for the same price as the 494. Well, that perked my ears up. I wasn't looking for the turbo, because that's an added piece of equipment that could break down, but I've got a Cummins diesel that's a 2008 that I bought. It's still rolling like a tank. So and with the price, I decided to go with it, and we had bought, you know, the backhoe, the grapple, a bunch of equipment that we needed, and I like numbers, so I looked at the Kubota, I believe it was the MX54 something, price-wise, and to set it up with a loader, a backhoe, with the remotes that this has, with the draft control, and armrests, you know, set it up the same way. The price for just that was more than I paid for everything I bought in the package. Good guys to work with at Act Equipment. I bought it, and I've been using the daylights out of it. You can see we're clearing this field right here, and we've still got a lot more to open up so that we can plant our corn here. And you can kind of see some of the work that I'm doing and brush we're removing, and these are kind of small piles compared to what I've burned already. Now, things I like about this tractor: I love the lift capacity of the loader. I have no problem picking up large round bales that are packed tight. Gives me no issue at all. The rear tires are loaded. That helps me a little bit. The hydraulics, have been good. I will say the loader controls are not as smooth as my Kubota. Okay, it took me a little bit to get used to it. The grapple third function almost feels like the diverter on my Kubota. But once I learned how to work within its limits, I haven't had any problems. The backhoe works good. Hooking it up and taking it off, I've seen some videos on it. What I've found is a little bit different. I leave the frame of my backhoe on the ground till I get over almost where I slide it into the notch, I hook it up, and then I bring that frame up into the tractor. I feel safer that way. And the backhoe works great. Functions are good, power's good, the reach is good, and the price is real good too. You can see my tractor's a little bit dirty. I use it. Come on around this way, babe. I really like the location of the fuel tank. I like that it's 17 gallons. But I will say she does go through a lot of fuel. So, you know, 55 horse. I run it on the high side of the RPMs because a lot of times I'm running a PTO implement on the back. So I'm going to burn a little more fuel. The cab is no problem at all, gives me a lot of room. The only problem that I've had with this tractor right now, and I still got to get it warranted, is when I was backing in a livestock trailer to a pen to unload the goats, I had to unlock my rear brakes and push down on my right pedal to kind of walk it around a little bit quicker. And I'm used to, my brother-in-law had an old Massey, 45 some odd number, where you had to climb down on the brake pretty good. You know, I climbed down on the brake, and when I went to go forwards, I couldn't. That brake was locked down. What happened, on that lever for the parking brake, it comes down, and when I push down the brake pedal, somehow that paddle folded over, so it wouldn't release the brake. I couldn't even move my tractor. So I had to take apart the dash a little bit, and I just pulled the parking brake lever out for right now because this is the only tractor I've got here and I need it every day. Once I can take the time, take it to the shop to get that warranty and have a new lever put on, it'll work better. That's the only thing I've had is a problem so far. And I run this most every day. Some days I run it more than others. I've got a little over 280 hours on it already. And that's in what, 6 months? I haven't had any issues. I've done my service. And even when I did my service, I didn't really find many metal shavings, very little. The high-low range, I don't run it in four-wheel drive unless I need it. So I try to keep it out of four-wheel drive. Come on around, Jenny. And all the way around, babe. The functions of the hydraulics on the rear are real good. I love that 3-point lift on the back when I'm hooking up implements. On this piece of equipment, the flail mower, I don't have my hydraulic top link on because I need both my hydraulics for the flail. I do have a third rear remote. I just haven't put it on yet. And that will take care of that one issue I've got with this. The top link, I love it. It makes hooking up implements so much easier. It makes, when I'm running a box blade, I can feather it and run it almost like a land plane, because I can kick that back end up. I am going to put a couple skid bars on the front of the box blade because I'll ride it on that front sometimes, leaving a gap on my rear blade. But most of my implements are Ironcraft. That's what they sold, so we put them in the package. The flail mower, it's a 145. This was one of the implements that I told my wife, I said, well, I really don't need it. You can see we're not spring chickens, so we have some banks, and she was like, no, you need it, because as you get older, running a trimmer, and it's going to be a little bit harder. So when a wife says get something, I don't know too many men who are going to say, no, I'm not going to buy the implement. I like it. I use it for my banks. I try not to use it like I would my bush hog, running over and taking out, you know, stumps or stuff like that. Maybe I baby it, but I got it for a particular purpose, and if I need to do that, I'll pull out my medium duty Ironcraft 306. On the rear, these extendable arms and that hydraulic top link are wonderful because I can hook up to the implements a lot easier. I don't run a quick hitch, and that's by choice. Some of my implements, even though I've got all Ironcraft, I do have a couple that are not. They're old. One's an old coal planter I just picked up. It's not quick hitch compatible, so I just run with this because it's so easy. And I've got a lot of my PTO shafts cut without the quick hitch on it. Trying to think if there's anything else. The tractor served me good for almost 300 hours. I did put on a sunshade down in Alabama. It was getting real hot with the sun, so that was one concession that I did make to make it easier. The other thing I really didn't care for about this tractor, I was kind of disappointed. It didn't come with a toolbox. So I just welded up a bracket and put an ammo can on with a U-bolt. That took care of that one issue that I had. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm putting more lights on it for when I work at dusk, because the lights that are on the front of the tractor, they're not that good. They don't light up a whole lot, so I'm going to put some LEDs up high so I can see better. But overall, I'm tickled pink with this tractor. It's got all the power I need. The engine runs good. The implements are doing good so far. And for the price difference between it and a Kubota, for me it was a no-brainer. So I have no regrets looking at TYM. Thank you for joining me with this video.